Good evening. It's a pleasure to be here and to really be able to congratulate and acknowledge all of the inductees tonight. And it's particularly poignant to be standing here between Doug Baker and Richard Davis, who I know well and are such strong community supporters. They are also, you may know, Vikings fans, and they were very involved behind the scenes in helping conform the stadium deal that is going to bring us many years of pleasure watching the Vikings and the NFL here in the Twin Cities. So I thought when I was introducing Richard, I might sort of dig into my extensive football knowledge and really let you know about Richard in a unique way, which is really telling you that Richard is a lot like Joe Montana. Many of you know that Joe Montana is considered the best quarterback in the NFL in all times. And he is in the Hall of Fame. He had many, many skills and a very long career by NFL standards. He won 4 Super Bowls, started 4 Super Bowls. And so I want you to know that Richard Davis has many of these attributes. As you heard in the introduction, U.S. Bank is a nationally leading bank, 5th largest bank in the country. They are an international bank, as well as a strong community provider and retail bank. And so he's a leader and quarterbacking this important institution. But I want to break it down a little bit more for you, kind of like ESPN, and just do a little comparison. So first of all, if you can think back to Joe Montana's day, he was known for his field vision. He could scramble up the field to make a play. He called his own plays. He really knew what to do on the field. So he was an active, engaged leader, and I just want to give you one example that is a direct parallel in Richard's career. He began his banking career at age 18 as a teller when he was in college, working his way through college. And so he had this long playing field in front of him called his career. And I know that Richard always knew where he was going. He is one of the most grounded and committed people that I know. And Richard may not have thought, I want to be CEO of U.S. Bank, but he wanted to be a leader. He wanted to make a difference in people's lives. He wanted to be an ethical part of commerce in the United States of America. So he could see down that field, call the plays, and it's not just that he's done that professionally. He's done that with his family, his wonderful 3 children, and Teresa, who's such a wonderful part of really your team, just like the Bakers are. A wonderful family life as well as his community commitment. So he sees the field, he plans ahead, and has had this vision for himself in a very large context his whole life. Another thing about Joe Montana, great passer, right? He had Jerry Rice, he could do the long passes too, but he was equally effective with his tight ends when he had the short ball. And so he could think on his feet, he knew where to go to make the big plays. It was alluded to in the vision. 2010, tough year in the financial industry, tough year for U.S. Bank, and where was Richard? He was right in the center of it. He led U.S. Bank, and again, you saw that in the video, the smart decisions he made to stick to the knitting, to stay close to customers, to do what the bank does so well. The banking industry was sort of in a shambles, and so who does the industry go to run their most important industry group in Washington, the Financial Services Roundtable in 2010? Richard Davis, the good guy banker, maybe the only good guy banker in the country that year, I'm not sure, at least by Washington's standards. He was chairing the Minnesota Orchestra Board at the time. And then there was this one other commitment he and Teresa had made a few years prior, which was to chair the Greater Twin Cities United Way annual campaign. Big deal for me, big deal for us, and I was new on the job. You would have thought we were Richard's #1 priority. He was where we needed him, he was out in public, he was behind the scenes coaching the team, and he was supporting me in this new leadership role. 2010. Long pass, short pass, whatever needed to be done, you did it, and you did it for all of us, the many, many people who are relying on you. That's a special year, and it's one I'll always think of when I think of you, Richard. And finally, Joe Montana was really known to command the huddle. He knew his players, he knew what to do in a clutch situation, he had the trust of his team, and this was before the days when the coaches were calling all the micro plays. Joe was the guy. So I just did a really brief kind of one-click survey with all 60,000 US Bank employees, and 100% responded positively to this statement. We think Richard Davis is terrific, and we're damn glad he's our CEO. So this is a man who has great support from his team, and I know how much you care about each individual who's a U.S. Bank employee as individuals and also as service providers for the millions of clients that U.S. Bank have. So this is a guy, I'm not actually sure if you played football in high school, but if you did, you were right up there with Joe Montana in those early days. So, ladies and gentlemen, Joe Montana was the Sports Illustrated Sportsman of the Year in 1990. Let me introduce Richard Davis, Minnesota Business Hall of Fame inductee 2012.
I'm happy to report that we're not only the Bank of the Vikings, but we're also the Bank of the 49ers, Joe Montana's best place. So, Sarah, thank you. You honor me by doing that, and Teresa and I care a great deal about you and your organization, so thank you for that. Dale, wherever you are, thank you for the Twin Cities Business Journal creating this opportunity for a community to come together and celebrate its business success and to hopefully create a momentum for a future. I want to congratulate Ram, Sally, Curtis, and Doug. What an honor it is to be here with you tonight. And I just want to tell you how much it means to me and Teresa to even be with you. Life is a journey, and it takes you to places you never quite know where you'll end up. And in this particular case, who knew that we would be coming to the Twin Cities 10 years ago next week? As it would turn out for us, as we look now on these most rich 10 years, I think about how lucky we were to come to the #1 team. And following your thought, Sarah, the Twin Cities is the #1 community in America. And I know you know that because almost every other publication and every other community looks up to us and hopes to be us one day. And frankly, every time, and I hope you are too, are asked by someone, what makes you all so special? I've never come up with the exact answer, but I just say meet the people in the community, and that will give you the reason. It's not the topography, it's not the weather, it's not the buildings, it's not the things that people typically hearken to when they think about a community, it's the people in it. And when you get a #1 team, a draft choice, and you get drafted by the #1 team, the expectations are extremely high. The opportunity is also very significant in a #1 team. But also, the opportunity for influence is probably not so great because it's the #1 team and they can pick whoever they want. Enter me and Teresa. We get walk-on status with the #1 team. We just show up here 10 years ago with our daughter, and you welcomed us, and you invited us in, and this community embraced us. First, as a business couple with a 9th grade daughter starting school at Blake. And that's where we began our life here, because you meet everybody you know first on the soccer field, in the bleachers. That's your whole life. I know the whole way around this town because of all the soccer and basketball games I attended over 4 years. But then the richness of your experience starts to change because in the business environment, you have the chance to represent a company, starting first with meeting the employees in the company and then being part of the community. And this is to you, U.S. bankers. Thank you for making it such a special place to be and my other family. And then finally, you fast forward and you get a chance to become more involved in a community. And then you find friends, lifetime friends, people you would never, ever part with, no matter where you live for the rest of your life. And if you've ever had the opportunity or responsibility to move your family more than a couple of times, it becomes very, very important to you just how special the people are that welcome you, and you know the difference. And so thank you for this honor. You allow me to be in the Hall of Fame of America's greatest city. And I take that as an extension of your hand or your arms, as a big fat hug. And Teresa, you're the reason we made this journey in the first place. I know you feel the same way, so this is for both of us. And I just want you to know that I will always give you my strongest and most vocal advocacy. I will fight to the end for this community. And to follow a little bit of my good friend Doug's reminder, we should do that every day. It's number one because you all made it that way, because you invite people in like us, and you let us thrive. And together we'll celebrate a momentum in a future that frankly no other community can have. And 10 years from now, I'll still struggle to answer why it's so special here. And I'll still say, just meet everyone else. They're very special people. Thank you for the honor.